Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again and we're carrying on. We're looking at some Ether Drift cards today. Just as a point, I've had a few comments on the video I put up last Friday for the new version of PNLR. That is definitely a base deck. That is going to be updated later on. Give me a few wecs, I will do an updated version of it, but I wanted to get something out early because I was just really excited by PNLR and I know there's cards I've missed out of that deck. Panharmonican's the one that springs to mind straight off, and a couple of the other ones, but I will update that once we've seen more of the set. But for now, please bear in mind when I'm talking about the Ether Drift cards this week, they are starting points for the deck, and that's very much like the one we're looking at today, which is obviously Hashaton, Scarab's Fist, blue and black for a 1/3 zombie wizard, and whenever you discard a creature card you may pay 2 in a blue. If you do, create a tap token that's a copy of that card, except it's a 4/4 black zombie. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, a blue, black, white deck that cares about us discarding cards that are creatures. It's got to be an easy way to break this, and I think I might have triggered it with this one today. So here we go. Here's what today's deck looks like and is all about. Now, the deck does like zombies, but there's one other specific card ability, for want of a better phrase, that's really good, I think. So, here we go. We've got some zombies in, so we've got Champion of the Perished in, because we must have that in. And then this gives away what I've been looking at. Ruthless Sniper. Whenever you cycle or discard a card, you may pay 1. If you do, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature. We care about discarding creatures, as it says at the top here. I can't quite get my finger to, it disappears. Cycling is a really easy way to have things happen, because you are discarding the card when you cycle, and you can then pay the mana to get the benefit. So that's what we're looking at really with this deck. Anointed Priest comes in, creature tokens enter, we gain a life. It's got the Embalm trigger as well, so that's fine, we can bring it back. First one of the main cycling creatures, Cloud of Fairies. Untap 2 lands when it comes into play, lovely. Another bit of the zombie side of things, Corpse Knight. Whenever a creature enters under your control, everyone loses 1. Lazotep Chancellor really does help out the cycling thing, because you get to do the whole lesser mass and make a zombie token thing. Like that plan. Cemetery Reaper pumps up the zombies if we make them with our Hashaton. Hashaton, sorry. Champion of Wits, nice one. This gives a way of discarding extra cards if we need to, if we've got spare mana kicking around, and we can eternalize it to bring it back as a 4/4 that does the whole thing again for us. Death Baron just gives us a pump to our zombies and gives them death touch. Diagraph Captain gives us a pump to our zombies, and whenever a zombie we control dies, target opponent loses 1. Diagraph Colossus, because we do have a few zombies, so we might as well have this in here to get those extra zombie tokens, even if they come into play tapped. Jeroth, Visionary Stitcher. Zombie creatures you control have flying, or zombies you have control have flying, and we can sack a non-token creature to create an X blue zombie creature token, where X is a sacrifice creature's toughness if we really need to. So on target some of the things we can sack it off and do it this way, especially if they're being exiled. Lord of the Curse is a pump. Basically, the Menace is irrelevant for some of the other cards. Lord of the Undead is also another pump, and we get to return them from our graveyard to our hand if we need to. Next cycling card, Nimble Obstructionist, because we like countering triggered and activated abilities when we can. Zombie Master gives all our zombies Swamp Walk and lets all our zombies regenerate for black. Next cycling card, Architect's Will. Look at the top 3 cards of a player's library, then put them back in any order. Aven Wind Guide's also in to help us out a little bit more with the let's have our creatures tokens have flying and vigilance. Curator of Mysteries is just a cycle for 1. Durag Necromancer I put in. We have a lot. We went with the whole Snowland theme for this one, just so we could hopefully get some of our opponent's creatures taken care of this way and get them back on our side. Undead Warchief cuts the cost of our zombie spells down and lets us pump them all by 2 and 1. Varan Lich Queen. It gives us another way of discarding our cards, which we can turn into zombies if we're discarding creature cards. And if we're in a real push, we can exile 2 cards from our graveyard to get some black zombie token creatures that way. Next cycler, Archfiend of Ifina comes in. We're going to be cycling a lot, hopefully. And this has got a cheap version of cycling. Orketra to give us some big zombies. Grey Merchant, because hey, I'm playing a black deck, it had to be here. And then a few more cycling ones. We've got the hollowed one, we've then got Nath to pump all our zombies up even more and return this to battlefield to tapped. That's why we're playing the Snowlands. This is important. Street Wraith, small cycling. The Scarab God to look at the gain some life, well, make our opponents lose life in Scry when it's all the zombies we control. Timeless Dragon for some plane cycling if we need it to. And Sinian of Darkness, we can cycle this off as well and then bring it back into play with a bit of, well, bring a copy of it back into play if we can. Going from there, a couple of Planeswalkers, Liliana's Death's Majesty's in because, and the Dreadhorde General, because if we're playing a zombie deck, we've got to have these two in realistically. I also went with the Evasion of Amoket as well, just so we could have the whole everyone mills 3, then each opponent discards a card and we draw. And if we can get it flicked over to something to make it become a copy, even better. We got a couple of removal things, so we've got, well, removal and help, so we've got Enlightened Tutor in the deck, and alongside Vampiric Tutor to go and get the cards we need. We've got Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares for a bit of targeted control, then Cyclonic Rift and Damnation for some big board control, and Living Death, because if we are cycling our cards and going that way, this lets us get them all back into play after we're cycling them off. It seems like an ideal way of doing it to me anyway. Artifacts, quite a lot. Just because we do need to ramp quite heavily in this deck, and we've got a few little tricks we need to do. So Mox Tantalite, Amulet of Vigor is important because it stops our zombies that we create off Hashaton come into play tapped instead of tapped. So this is kind of one of the key cards, hence why we're having Licensed Tutor in the deck. Elixirs here, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Fluctuator. I know we haven't got that many, well, we've got quite a few cards that cycle, and some of them do have a lot of coloured mana, but it seemed a reasonable inclusion to me, just to hopefully cut the cost down of some of our bigger cyclers, and then have some mana still left over to make their copies with Hashaton. Keep our hand going, we've got Howling Mine, and then we've got some more ramp with Jet Medallion, Pearl Medallion, Sapphire Medallion. Pillar of Origins is here, just so we can have this go name zombies, and then use that to cast some of the spells we've been talking about already. We have one of each of the talismans in, so Dominance, Hierarchy and Progress to help us get the colours we need. Icon of Ancestry just to pump our zombies up again, and a push go and find some of the other zombies we need to make it all worthwhile. Patchwork Banner is here as well. Choose zombies, they all get +1/+1. It helps a bit with the mana side of things. Font of Mythos, just to make sure we are keep on drawing the cards. Don't forget, if we get to a maximum hand size, we can discard the cards and still pay the 3 mana to get the copies of them. So that's why we've gone with the Howling Mine and Font of Mythos. And then one way of making sure that we can discard stuff is the Grimoire of the Dead. When we get the 3 study counters, it's actually quite nice to be able to get all of the zombies, all of the creatures put all creatures from all graveyards onto the battlefield under our control. They're black zombies in addition to their other types and colours. Well, colours and types, got it the wrong way around, but definitely worthwhile inclusion in this deck. To help us have a little bit more of a discard outlet, I've included Zombie Infestation, because if we've got 6 mana kicking around, 2 creatures in our hand, we can get a black zombie creature and then get a couple of copies of them. Kindred Discovery, just so we can keep on with the card draw by naming zombies. Liliana's Mastery, just to pump up all our zombies and get a couple of extra 2/2s, well, which become 3/3s with this in play, so that's quite nice. And obviously, we're playing kind of a zombie type all deck. I had to include Rooftop Storm just to make sure that we could pay 0 for some of our zombie spells, rather than the mana cost when we cast it. Lands, 36 of them, the usual selection of white, blue and black lands. Field of the Dead's here because it's on theme with this deck with zombies. Like I said, we've got 17 snow-covered lands in the deck. We've got Secluded Courtyard just so we can have some help with casting our zombies. Hashaton springs to mind. Raffine's Towers here, Seer Clouds, the usual selection. But no Reliquary Tower, no Temple of the False God for us today, because there didn't seem a lot of point in including it in this deck. And that is it. That's my quick and dirty take on Hashaton for today. I've got a feeling there are some cycling cards I've missed out that probably should be in the deck, but I had a quick look through MTGO and I've put in the ones I think are relevant. If you think there's anything I've missed out that should be in from a cycling point of view, let me know in the comments down below. I think cycling is possibly the best way to go Hashaton at the moment. Yes, it fits very well in with the main commander for the deck, but I want to just do the backup commanders, and that's where I like to start when I'm doing the videos with the commander legends. So that's what we've done. Like I say, it's good. I think it'll work out quite nicely, and it is a starting point. So yeah, let me know down below if you think there's anything I've missed out. I did look at the new cards coming in with the precon for this. Can't say I was that impressed with them. That's why I've ignored them for now. But if there is one you think should be in the deck, like I say, let me know in the comments down below. Please, 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 if you can, hit the subscribe button. There's 598 subscribers here on YouTube as I record this, so 2 people short of hitting the 600 target. I'd love it if we could. And I'll be back tomorrow with another one of the legends, but we're going back to the main set for Ether Drift tomorrow, so we'll kick off with something from there. But for now, thanks for watching, take care, and hopefully I'll be reading your comments very soon. Bye.